Greetings and salutations, Internet. What do we got today? We got something nice today. Fidget HQ. Love you guys. What do we got in here? So this I picked up from Heck during his spin for Puerto Rico auction thing going on. Let's just say here real quick. Nice tin. It's just a kind of a nice design. I feel like it's a decent tin. So anyway, we'll get you out of the way. But yeah, picked this titanium Zentri Nano up on, that's been for Puerto Rico auction. So first things first, I meant to mention this in my Quasar video as well. These are the little pouches that Fidget HQ is doing, and these are by far like the best pouches. These are like perfect pouches. Like they're not giant like a lot of pouches. Now this is still a little bit bigger, but it's just got a nice material on the outside. Logo is very discreet down here, very subtle, nothing over the top. It just feels very classy. So favorite pouches from any maker that I've seen. So most of the time I'm carrying in a Carver's Customs anyway, so it doesn't make a huge difference, but I did want to give a shout out, and I couldn't find it when I went to record that video and forgot to say how nice these are. So nice job on these pouches, Fidget HQ. We'll leave you up here sort of like a little logo. Fidget HQ, thumbs up. All right, so we've got the titanium, which I believe is the lightest. I'm pretty sure they don't do an aluminum. Zentri Nano here. So there she is in titanium. Loving these Kong buttons too. So this is my first time with the buttons that are smooth. The Quasar has the one with the steps. These are the smooth ones. So let's bring it in and weigh it. You know, guys, I'm not a big titanium guy. I like larger, heavier spinners to a degree. Let's see what we're working with here. We're working with 36.1 grams. What the heck is that noise? Do you guys hear that noise? What? Two titaniums? Let's check you out. Oh, you are not titanium. You're 126 grams. You're tungsten. Hello, tungsten. Thanks for joining us. Oh, that's sweet. That's sweet, tungsten. Thanks for coming in here. Oh, all right. Fidget HQ. Zentri Nano W, number 65. Oh, Raja Kapoor and Lisa Kapoor. Oh, they both signed it. That's nice. Kisses. All right, that might actually stand up right there. Oh, look at that. See how nice this little wooden stand is? We dig this. All right, look at this. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Where do we start? Oh, the fingers, I'm getting antsy. Am I getting goosebumps? I can't really tell. My freckles. Anywho, let's talk about you. Ooh, baby. So both of these guys are actually pretty small. Now, I knew they were smaller. This is a regular Zentri. And, you know, in all the comparisons, I didn't realize how much smaller it was. You know, I knew the arms were a little stubbier, but for whatever reason, I just wasn't quite ready for quite how small this is. I thought it was a little bit what I would call like a large micro spinner, but it's in the micro spinner range. I mean, this is what do we have for comparison? We got a Hydra, just because we love the Hydra around here. What else do we got for comparison? Hold on. You know what we want. Stubby. All right, so there you go next to a Stubby. So pretty tiny little guy. So the 36 grams of this guy makes you super fidgetable. Jeez Louise. The grip isn't really that bad. That's just me being a dummy on camera. So, but these buttons, these shoes, really like their shoes, what they got going on. They're just a nice, simple dish, and it's just the right dish where it's pretty deep. It's not too shallow, but it's not flat. It gives really good grip. So, especially on a day like today where my hands are just a little sticky. So, from it being just a little humid, you really get good grip. So this is like all day kind of fidgetability. We're not going to spend too much time on the titanium because the tungsten's the one I really want to talk about. But again, I wanted to hook Heck up. I wanted to help him out with his charity. I donated a few spinners, but you know, he needs the money too, so we get the money out to them. So, and it's nice to help out the community. So, yeah. So really well machined. Decent spin times on this guy. So we're getting. I mean, for titanium's not going to be like a spin time champ anyway. I believe it's got their standard hybrid ceramic in here, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think that's a stainless steel one. I could be mistaken, but again, we're not too worried about spin times on this guy. So, but spin times out of the box. Now I haven't given this a clean, but again, I'm really not trying to break in the spin times on this. 3 minutes and 5 seconds on a table spin, 3 minutes and 32 seconds on a vertical spin, which for a tiny little spinner like this is pretty good. Those are respectable spin times. you know, comparing it to some other little Nano, right? It's not much bigger than this guy here, and all kinds of fidgetability, all kinds of, all day. So as much as I like the Aventador, mini Aventador, I think this is my new favorite, what I would consider a mini micro spinner. Really just love this guy. So we'll get you out of the way because we've talked about you not enough. You know, if it was a different video, I would talk longer about you, but we got to talk about this guy. So, oh boy, where do we start with this thing? So this no longer feels like a micro despite being small because of its weight, right? 126, 27 grams is some pretty significant territory. Let's put a Fidget HQ logo right there. Excuse me, I gotta clear my throat. My cough did go away, guys, by the way. That was just me not swallowing properly. Let's weigh this without the buttons, just to keep it fair. So essentially 115, 140, 114, 9. And let's weigh, what are we at over here without the buttons? $125 basically. So about a 10-gram difference between the two of these guys. So pretty close. So just if you want to know what a tungsten spinner feels like or what a tri-fidget feels like, it is pretty close to this. There are definitely some differences. We're not going to spend any more time talking about him, but I know some people had questions about the weight between the two of them. So, so there you have it. So let's talk about the tungsten guy for a minute. Now the tungsten is really nicely finished. It's almost like not like a mirror finish, but like it's sort of like a mirror finish, right? Like it's got a really nice machine finish. Now there are a couple, I can't feel them in the spin as like a hot spot, but there are a couple little burrs on the edge here, which are pretty minimal. Again, I don't feel them as like a hot spot or anything like that, but I think I'm going to throw this in the stone washing rig I'm working on, and see how that comes out. But really well machined. Now you do see the steps here a little bit more than you do in something like the titanium, probably just because of how hard it is to machine. If you really look at the titanium, you can see some of those steps in there. But it's probably fewer passes around, so this is it's tungsten. It's got to be machined a little slower, so it probably takes less passes around at slower speed, causing bigger steps here. You get kind of a little interesting little cuts going around the side here. The tungsten as well, we didn't really take a look at it, is a press fit, so no glue, so press fit, which is nice, and I got number 65 as my serial number. Comes with a high velocity bearing in there. Out of the box, we were getting 4 minutes and 3 seconds on a table spin and 5 minutes and 52 seconds on a vertical spin. Out of the box, not broken in, not cleaned. So that's an all right spin time. So what do? You know, I kind of want to be like the bearing guy as far as like bearing information for you guys. So I took my Fidget HQ high velocity bearing that I had broken in that was getting some really good spin times in my Triton. Now keep in mind, this is a tiny guy. 9 minutes, 52 seconds on a table spin. What? Almost 10 minutes on a table spin for a micro spinner? You're out of your damn mind. Well, what do we get on a vertical spin? 13 minutes, 31 seconds. Drum roll worthy, is what Mark would say, or did say. But that's not really a drum roll, that's a rim shot. But anyway, so this is a really fantastic spinner in terms of spin time and fidgetability and all that good stuff. So it is heavy. But with the shape, with the size, it doesn't have a problem with that weight, much like the tungsten tri-fidget, right? It's got all the right weights in all the right places. Pretty well balanced too. Now tungsten again is known to be off a little bit. I think, yeah, let's put the heavier arm up so we can see kind of the biggest swing that we're going to get out of this guy. And really not all that bad. We don't go past the halfway mark on it because the weight's all in this corner. Right, if we let it just settle in where it wants to. So when it comes to bearings and this sort of thing, those spin times you're definitely not going to get out of the box and you're going to have to work for. Again, I took a bearing that had been broken in, cleaned it out really well, gave it some good spins to kind of re-break it in after cleaning it, and then gave it those table spins. So I think she can actually probably get a little bit more spin time than that, especially vertically. I don't think the vertical spin I got was the best, but when it takes 13 minutes to test a vertical spin, you don't just have all day to just test spin times, you know what I'm saying? So really good fidgetability though from both of these guys. So I think we'll get to the part of the program for the most part Actually, one more thing I want to say on this. When I switched out to the broken in bearing that was really well cleaned, I knew I had a good fidgeter on my hands with the tungsten because of how fun this is at low speeds. Like that low speed fidgeting, when that works, like if I just do this, that was a super light spin. I'm probably going to be here for 4 or 5 minutes before that stops when it really comes down to it. So it just is a really smooth spin. It's really satisfying. Now it does give it significantly more wobble. A really good hybrid ceramic that's really broken in tends to have significantly more bearing play. And that's fine. I'm okay with that because of how smooth this spin feels, but it's still got that hardness from that hybrid ceramic. And I don't think we mentioned $129 for a tungsten spinner. Right, that's compared to, nothing against any of the other manufacturers, especially making these in the States here. You know, $300 for a tri-Fidget, $325 for a tri-Portal. Those are good prices too, just to kind of put in perspective how good $129 is. But that's one of the things Raja loves to do. He loves to work out deals and find the right sources, the right material, the right factories that can deliver. So that's something I know he gets a kick out of, and you know, he gets to pass everything on to us. So so good deal. So appreciate a good deal for this guy. So anyway, onto the fidgeting. This is a fantastic fidgeter any way you slice it. So we can do this really, really nicely. We can push out really nicely. We can catch between arms. We can catch the end of an arm. We can push with this finger, push with this finger, pull with this finger, flick out and swing back. Even with tungsten, that's not a problem. Get it with our pinky, with our index. We can do an awkward fidget. It's actually pretty good at awkward fidgeting. Or even the reverse awkward fidget. Trying to hold it with the pinky and flick with the ring finger. Also, it is probably the best spinner I found for this type of fidgeting. Now, for me, this type of fidgeting is something I don't prefer, I don't like and use a lot. But especially with something a little bit lighter, like when you have a spinner this size, it almost doesn't matter what you do. You're going to be good to go. But with the tungsten and that weight, yet still being really fidgetable like this, is pretty rad because you get that extra fidgetability from a micro spinner, but you have that weight that you expect with a bigger finger. So fidgeting like this is actually really nice and really satisfying. So you got to be a little careful flicking it back up while it's in motion, just because it's tungsten. It's got a lot of momentum going on. So this is also really nice. This is actually really nice. I know some people like this style of fidgeting, but that works really well, especially in tungsten. It feels really good because you got some weight you're playing around with. Something like this, again, that's also, so that's the it's the 2 1 3p, 2 1 p 3p, 2 1 p 3p, 3 CPO. Also, this is nice because the arms are a little smaller, so I have kind of long fingers, so I can reach out with even bigger spinners. Right, we'll grab this guy again, like, and I can reach and pull it from the outside with my ring finger, which I like that style. But anybody can get in on that action with something like this. Now these, I should say, in tungsten aren't readily available. I don't know if he's going to be doing another run. I know he had kind of like a second wave of them, but I don't know if you can get them. So just be on the lookout for tungsten drops from them, because everything they seem to be doing is good. They just did the drop. I know I talked about it for the Tungsten Evo, Zen Duo Evo. Which is going to be a heavy one, boy. We're going to have to watch out for that from what it looks like it's going to weigh. But I think for the Zentri Nano, I think for me personally, if I couldn't get in on the tungsten, which you really can't now, for me the titanium is a little light, but it really feels like a micro spinner at this weight. I think the brass, I'm not sure if they did in copper, but in brass or stainless steel, I think stainless steel would be the ideal one for me. I may even consider picking up stainless steel just because tungsten is such a different animal. Like, it really feels like a different spinner when it's in tungsten. So, but from a fidgetability standpoint, right, it's all there. So I think someone else was talking, it looks like it's a lot smaller, but it's so close in weight, and that's because the arms are a little thicker, right? Not a ton thicker, but a little bit, and then the Tri-Fidget has a lot of cutouts in the middle. Come on, buttons. Right, so there's a lot of cutouts in the middle, reducing some of that weight. So, again, just packing that weight in. So, and superconductor buttons from Zero Few. We haven't talked about those yet. I'm trying to do a little video chatting about those maybe at some point. So, talk about the shoes. Now, if we can have a downside about this, right, trying to be honest and trying to have the downsides. You can't feel this, but there's this little kind of line in the middle from the machining. which is a little off center, but I mean, it's tungsten, it's not that big of a deal. And then you've got very slight burrs in the machining, but again, you can't actually feel it. They don't cause hot spots, they're not cuts or anything like that. I don't even know if burr is the right word. You can just feel a little bit of, like, it seems like the material is extending past that edge, and not on all of them. I wonder if I can get one that you can really see. See that edge there just a little bit? Right here in this corner. But that's not too bad. The other thing too that I would say is, if we're going to talk downsides, is the ability to put other buttons on here. Because of these arms and how small this is, it can't take larger buttons. I was really hoping to fit these on there. It just won't take them. So you can't put really large buttons on it. I'll tell you which buttons I do like on here though. Are these buttons. My Talisman Ultra Spinners buttons. Really nice. Really nice on there. So these are the buttons that are probably going to stay on it for a little while. But tungsten. Oh, sorry, titanium. Don't feel bad back there. I'll give you a little spin. So, yeah. So loving the work that's coming out of Fidget HQ right now, especially the tungsten love they're putting out there, and the exotic materials, the exotic metals they're doing at good cost. So. Spin Time Champ, can I recommend this? Abso-friggin-lutely. This is a 2 thumbs up, wholehearted endorsement. This is potentially creeping into top 10 territory. I'm not sure. I'd really have to line them all up and spin them and see. So, really, really high up there. This guy, you know, definitely not top 10 for me just because I like the extra weight. But it's funny, especially after spinning tungsten. That is really satisfying as well. It's just a really great form factor, right? These really just great chamfers. Really, really nice. Like what they're doing over there. So, and I should say, with the balance on this guy, you can feel a little bit of wobble, especially on really hard spins. But it's really not bad. I'm trying to hold my hand still. Trying to hold my head and remember that I'm blessed with a curse and it gets worse as time goes by. I can't see straight because I'm so high. Why ask why when you know when it's your time to go, you go. Anyway, little DMX for y'all. I think we'll leave it with that. Zentri Nano by Fidget HQ. Kisses, everybody.